All right. Hey folks. This is part 2 of the YNAB live build component library. Expecting a lot of this session to just be a continuation of the inventory exercise that I was taking last time. Just a reminder that if you're interested in anything that I put into that Figma file, I will be publishing those to the Figma community on my community profile. So this first file right here, available to download, and I'll make sure to update it at the end of every session. So yeah, where we left off last time, let me get myself organized into a good spot. We looked a lot at these 3 main areas of the budget panel. I just realized I'm not in the right budget. But we can open that up. We looked at that side panel on the left. We looked at a little bit of that modal, that onboarding modal. Or not onboarding necessarily, but like the account, setting up an account, right? We set up these 3 different accounts: checking, savings, emergency. And these buttons on the side, so dug in a lot into what these bits of interface look like. Same for this top section. We figured out a lot of stuff with these buttons and icon buttons as well. This ready to assign div, which has buttons inside of it that let you open up modals. We found these tabs, this information panel, these little helper boxes that show up. So I think where I'd like to start with this one is really kind of finish up this budget panel here and take care of this stuff on the right. So let's dig into that. All right, so it's called the Budget Inspector. It's a helpful name. I'm gonna make a comment of that on this big screenshot that we have. So this whole area is called the Budget Inspector. All right, looks like Figma comments are being a little finicky again, but I think I know my way around well enough now. I think if I make these and then drag them out, that'll be better. Now, this is a really interesting piece because it's very dependent on whether or not I think we have some things selected. Let's see, and these are all collapsible. But as soon as I select something, let me minimize everything. So this is like our most minimized look. Let me get a screenshot of this as well, actually. Oops. Don't want to leave a comment just yet. Okay. Oh, yeah, and when the screenshot was taken, so yeah, you can see here, this is an example of this. We have an item within the budget selected. We have this clothing category, and our panels have changed. We've got target, auto assign, available balance, and notes, but when we don't have anything selected, we have, let's see, auto assign, total monthly goals, available in April. So your level of zoom changes, it looks like. When something's selected, this inspector is showing you item or information specific to what's been selected. But when nothing is selected, now we're just in the context of the entire month that we're in, which is now April. Okay, so let's look at that a little bit more. I'm going to keep things unselected here. So we've got the budget inspector, and then we've got budget breakdown. I wonder if that class name changes No. Yeah, we've still got budget breakdown here. Oh, this is interesting. These, it's weird that visually these divs aren't like lining up to what I'm like seeing on the screen. What are these? Oh, it's like they're misaligned. Let's try refreshing. Okay. Let's look at that again. So we've got our budget inspector. Then we've got all these divs. Okay, these seem to be lining up. So this whole thing is a section. It contains, yeah, these are giant buttons. We are collecting quite a few buttons, it seems. Class card roll up. That's a good name. So let's leave a comment about that. And I was doing a little bit of refreshing my memory before starting this stream about how I was leaving past comments. I think we're going to have a massive variety of button components, button variants, and maybe organizing them with / naming is going to be a helpful thing to do, just because there's such a huge variety. Okay. Cool. So we've got those. Now, this last, I guess, what I would maybe call a card, I'm not sure if that would be appropriate, but this last section here does not seem to be interactive. It is not a card roll-up like the rest. This is TK last month's income. Very specific. And it's just a regular card. I wonder if, okay. That's good to know. I was wondering when we were going to get card styles. And I'm trying to remember from last time if cards came up. This might be our first card. This is a card. It is specifically, oh, didn't mean to enter that. Let's edit this comment. I wanted to say, rats. This is specifically a TK last month's income card. Great. And I'm not quite done inspecting that. We've got, I want to see where, I'm noticing that there's this, let's zoom in here. We've got this like gray line, and I want to know which of these divs owns it. Where would I be able to tell that? It would be, oh yeah, border top. Okay, okay, that looks like it. Oh, perhaps both of them? Oh no, okay, so we've got two border tops happening. Well, okay, and one overwrites the other. It's so specific that the other one is canceled out by it, but that's interesting. Even the width of that border is controlled by rems. That's not something I'm familiar with, but like if I change that to be 1 pixel, can I change it to be 4? Yeah, yeah. Fascinating, but it looks like it's about 1 pixel. And it's just black, but with this transparency happening. Can I get that value? Cool. All right, so this div on the bottom owns that border. I don't know how important that will be. I was mostly just curious, but I think it's, yeah, interesting. The div on the bottom owns the gray dividing line. Okay, cool. Is that everything that there is to know about these? Maybe not. I think some of these things contain, yes, even more buttons. And we've seen these before, I think. Yeah, these look like the exact same buttons under our ready to assign box, I guess. Is that what we decided to call it? But these look like the exact same styling. The label is aligned to the left. There's a dollar amount on the right. They have that same spacing, it seems, and they're grouped together as well. But maybe we can look at that. I don't think I dug into that very much last time. This is called an option group. This group of buttons. And I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that is the same here. We can check though, but I feel pretty good about that guess. This is called an option group of buttons. Also appears in the, what did we say this was? This whole thing? This is great. I didn't realize Figma was going to let me do this. I was worried it wasn't for a moment, but to be authoring a new comment and still able to kind of hover over other comments on the canvas. Oh yeah, wait, where did we leave that comment? I think it was on this guy. The budget inspector, okay. That's what I needed. Also appears in the budget inspectors, and these are called card roll-ups, yeah. Okay, well, and now I just gotta know. I can't leave it to chance now that I've said it. So if we click assign here and we inspect on this guy, yep, option groups. That would make a lot of sense. So let's find out. Okay, it looks like the spacing is handled by the div in the middle. I wonder how we're going to do this in Figma. This will be interesting. But that is 14 pixels of space. And then between buttons, 2 pixels of space. So let's go up here. 14 pixels of space. This is one of the first times we've seen pixels and not rems, by the way. But neither here nor there. We are only working with pixels in Figma, so fine for us. 14 pixels of space between groupings of buttons. And then we've got 2 pixels of space here. Between buttons within a group. Awesome. Okay, what else? So we've expanded all of these Let's zoom back out to 100. We've expanded all of these sections and taken a look inside. This is just text, but we'll want to componentize. Oh, a little tooltip, a little hover. Oh, this is great. That's so undiscoverable though. This is my first time ever encountering this. There is nothing about this text that signals it's interactive in this way, that I can get more information by interacting with it. That's really cool, but my thoughts are that it's, yeah, tough to discover, but potentially really good information. Like, let's actually look at this for a moment. So these are buttons. They're not going to have any. Total monthly savings, total monthly goals, right? To me, without even looking at what's inside there, because I know what a goal is in YNAB, I would think that that's going to sum the amount of money that I need to meet my goals for the month. And there's different types of goals, and that's what's outlined here. There are savings goals, there are spending goals, budgeted for goals, and then exceeded from goals. Oh, okay. And that's a positive thing. Like, did I budget? Did I contribute more to my goals than I needed to? Did I do more than the bare minimum to meet my goals? That's a cool breakdown, but I'm hovering over these and I'm not getting that tooltip, but available in April, that's where we found this. Leftover from last month. The total amount of money you have left over from March. Okay, that's helpful. Assigned in April, the total amount of money you have assigned in April. Activity, the total amount of activity, for example, spending in April. And I think this is very similar information to what we would see in here, just displayed slightly differently, listed out in a different way. And this isn't, because we didn't do any assigning of dollars last time, all we did was set up our accounts. There's not, this is kind of like in an in-between state. There could be more information in here, but we're not seeing anything because we haven't done much yet with our money in this demo budget. But yeah, ready to assign leftover from March. To me, that would be the same. Maybe not. Okay, we'll have to, I'm interested to see the relationship, but if there is a relationship between this panel of information and this panel of information. Not even for like a component library sense, but just product-wise, it's a new thing to explore. Okay, and then lived on last month's income. That's kind of cool. Income in March, right? So what money did we make inside of the month of March? Assigned in April. So how much of March's income got distributed into the future? And then variance. Okay, so let's just test that out. Let's say I'm going to throw $100 into rent, right? And this is money that we, if I check my dates, yes, everything in here is March, the third month of the year. We are now in the fourth. And so now, okay, so the variance is just the difference. The difference between 13,200 and 100 is 13,100. Variance is an interesting word for that, but it makes sense. Okay, great. So we discovered these tooltips. And I want to draw this comment as a box. Secret tooltips discovered. That really intense shadow seems to be the only one I've seen so far. I'm looking at these other screenshots that we have. Like it's here. It's any of these pop-up modal things, which is good. Got a consistent visual treatment. All right. Oh, whoa. Where did that go? I did not delete my screenshot. So what happened to it? Not seeing it in my layers. Bummer. Okay, let's just take another. That was so odd. Great. Not mess with that again. Okay. All right, so that's everything in here. We've got some text. We've got each of these like rows and these cards. Oh, I suppose we can look and see like what's going on spacing wise between all these guys. 8, yep. That's cool. Let's get in here. I'm recalling last time during the first stream, I did not get into the weeds on like spacing and stuff. It was more about figuring out the names of things. So maybe I should refrain from doing this. Might be too, it might make this inventory exercise a bit too slow. 8 pixels space between the roll-up cards and regular cards. And that looks even with the spacing around them as well. I'm just gonna leverage eyesight on that one. Okay, great. So that is this budget inspector panel when we don't have something selected. If we do select something, it changes. We have the addition of this target card, which doesn't look like a roll-up. It looks like a regular card. Yeah, card Ember View. We've still got auto assign. Available balance, is that new? Kind of. It looks like maybe a modification to available in whatever month it is. But now since we're looking at a specific category, it's changed to the available balance within that category and that same breakdown. Yeah, cash leftover. Let's look at that. Hold on. Yeah, it's talking about leftover stuff. Okay, assigned this month, all those things. This is going to be an interesting treatment. We're going to have, they're not really buttons, but these pills are going to be cool to build, I think. So available balance, this is just informational. Notes. Oh, yeah. And that, where did we see that? We saw that last time. Scroll up. I think we saw that on the month breakdown. Yes, notes are things that you can leave on a certain category, and you can also leave them on months. So we've got this styling, except this one's interesting because it doesn't have a border the way that, oh, not there, but here. This has a border. I kind of prefer it with the border, but that's cool. So we'll just make a note of that. And I want to get it with the blinking cursor on. Drag that in. Okay, and we'll say similar to the notes you can leave at the month level, except there is no gray border, but we can reuse that little, those lines, the grabby corner lines. That'll get recycled. Okay. And then besides that, auto assign is the same. We've got our option groups, and that's it. But within targets, there are different types of targets. And this isn't, there's a whole bunch going on in here. All these inputs, this is like a mini form actually. So once again, when we're setting a target on a category, there's a whole lot we can do. And I know we saw inputs when we were setting up accounts last time. I really would like to sit those side by side. I don't think I'll be able to do it in the interface, but yeah, these guys. So let's drag this over and see just how similar they are. Already though, I'm seeing a difference in, there's something about this like add an account wizard that there's just tiny little discrepancies between this and the rest of the app. Like, look at the distance between these labels. It's super tight here, which I don't mind, honestly. I mean, it's like slightly uncomfortable, but it's very clear where the visual relationship, but there's almost more space between the label and its accompanying input than there is between different types of inputs. Like, let's measure it just visually, like within the screenshot. We're gonna zoom in really, really tight so we can get to the pixels. So between these guys, probably 8. It's probably, okay, well no. More like 10 because we've got a half pixel down here and a half pixel up here. So we've got 10 pixels here, but then between your inputs, right, we've got this amount one that's expecting a numeric value, but then, yeah, only 7. I mean, probably 8. Oh, I'm sorry, this was... Okay, so 10 here and 8 here. And even though that's only a difference of 2, I don't know, to me it seems it's very... It's big, it's a big amount. Yeah, so we've got amount expecting that numeric value needed for spending. This is a drop down that's going to give us different options. And this is really fun. This is a really fun drop down because we've got these like these custom icons. And again, we see that shadow. So, but let's go one at a time here. So we've got a text input. I wonder if it'll let me, I mean, this won't matter for, I think, Figma, but I'm curious, like if I try and put letters in here, if it will throw an error. It won't accept it. I clicked save for target and it didn't even take it. So there's no validation. Which honestly is kind of nice. That eliminates the number of variants that I need to make selfishly. That's kind of a nice thing. Okay, so then we've got our drop down, which hopefully is a proper drop down, not like this one. Remember from last time, this one is actually a button, and this caret here is oddly pointed to the right. Don't understand that guy. It might be, and it's cool, I get it. It might be just like some leftover forgotten part of the app, or just like super deprioritized. But it does what it needs to do. And I think these discrepancies are small enough that, like, you know, they can get away with it. It's not hurting nobody. Okay. So in this dropdown, so this is, I guess maybe it's not even a dropdown. It's because it triggers a modal. This is a modal. This is a div with a class of modal. And this is a button. Okay. Class YNAB new dropdown container. All right. So its name is new dropdown container, but semantically it's a button. this is a button, but its class is new drop-down container. So that's interesting. And I wanted to get a screenshot of these options. Right, what does it look like when that's open? Oh, these don't need to be sitting side by side anymore. Let's go back and make sure that this is near neighboring screenshots that make some sense. Let's put this over here. This will eventually need to get tidied up, but there's not enough going on right now that I feel like it's necessary. Okay, great. So we've got our modal. Oh, I am so excited for the part where I actually get to build the stuff in Figma. Maybe the way to go about this is just to do this budget page, because already it's so rich in like atoms and molecules that I wonder if just saving reports and all accounts and then these other parts for later, if I should do if I should chunk out the inventory in this series. I originally was thinking this is something I'll do. I'll just completely front load it, like do all of this inventory gathering at the beginning, but I'm getting so eager to start building the components, and I think that will be a bit more interesting to watch anyway. So maybe we'll do that. Okay, but I want to finish up at least this this budget inspector panel. So within this modal, these are also buttons. Type, drop down option. Okay. Oh, and we didn't even get all of it. Let me take another screenshot. Right, this is it has a scroll bar. That would be such a cool thing to figure out, like some solid prototyping on. Let me see if I can actually line these up perfectly. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we've got our helper box. Again, these are drop-down options. And this selected state is really, this is interesting, this treatment where the blue, I mean, so we know what we have selected because it's also showing up in the, like as the value of the drop-down input, but it's really this blue color that's doing all the work of telling us, like, this is what's been selected. Of all the things in this list, if we're only looking at this list, that's what's selected, which I feel like, is that consistent with other places? Like when we make selections on things? And are there hover states? The hover state looks like it matches. Oh, okay, well, we also, okay, so the hover state does change. Okay, another thing that tells us it's selected is this blue check. Yeah, so let's add that in. Hover state. check signals. I'm selected. Great. Okay. And then we have a button group. I want to get, let's see, these don't have hover states. Nor do they have active states. Okay, and of course, depending on, man, this is really interesting too. So like, you can see as I'm clicking through these that my options below change, right? Because depending on whether we're trying to set a target that we want to meet every month, then YNAB needs to know, well, when every month, at the end of the month, on a specific date. If it's weekly, it's the same question, but it's adjusted. Okay, when during the week? Every Friday, every Monday. When do you want to reach this goal each week? And then when it's a specific date, we get more options here. So we can choose a specific date on the calendar. Oh, how closely did these match? That makes sense. This is at the month view. But this is a new piece of interface that we haven't collected yet. So you have to select the date, and then YNAB wants to know, do you want to repeat this? And then if yes, like if I turn this off, actually, yeah, those go away. Interesting. Repeat how often, right? Once a month or once a year. This seems to be this, ah, shoot. This like selection panel kind of looks custom, but this blue is like, it's not matching their color palette. I wonder if we're going to see that come up elsewhere. I mean, it does here months and years, but yeah. Oh, and this looks like it got a little bit lost when we the beak is not in the right spot. You can see that this modal is starting to cover up the drop down. It's not unusable, but it's strange. I wonder what made it do that. Okay. So lots of stuff in here. This is also a drop down, right? It's presented almost the same way as the text input, though. It just doesn't have a label. In fact, the only things that do have labels are amount, and then we're kind of like filling in a sentence here. Every 2 years, every 1 month. And that's interesting. Years, the highest you can go is 2. Every other year. Or no. Would that be the same? Anyway, that's a really interesting constraint. I wonder why that is. Okay, and then we have delete and cancel. Are these buttons? This is interesting. This might be the first time we've seen these guys. They are buttons, they're just text. Maybe not though. Again, gonna go back to our account setup modal. I feel like that might have come up there as well. Perhaps not. Okay, never mind. All right, well, let's get some names for these things. Okay, this is a frequency group. I would call it a button group, but this one is specifically the frequency group. Oh wow, I got to draw the whole box that time without Figma losing my coordinates. That's great. Okay, we've got a frequency group. And check this out, check this out. So we've got these like different carrots. Oh man, this stuff to me as like a consumer of this product has been invisible until now. It's almost unfortunate to be seeing it. I think I'm gonna pay a lot of attention to it now. I can't unsee it. But it's also reassuring. It's like there's so much you can get away with. Like I really enjoy using this. These visual inconsistencies like haven't at all affected my personal experience of the tool. So it really just goes to show, I think, like how there's just this forever a practice of focusing on the right stuff. Like there are things you can get away with that just don't matter super much, I think. They've focused a lot recently, I think. At least one of their big updates that they were very public about was this language change, right? I think this used to be called to be budgeted or something. But they changed all this language. This whole panel was like a new addition. So yeah, they're focusing on some good stuff, and like, you know, maybe they'll fix these carrots later. All right. Okay, so we've got our frequency group, and then down here we've got every, oops. DL, I don't know what the DL tag is. Description list. Coffee, black hot drink, milk, white cold drink. Oh yeah, what's DT? Terms and descriptions. Cool, cool. So we've got our description list, which has a term and a definition. And within this, it is, okay, this is a select. This is squarely a select. That's great. Let's make note of that. Actually, I should not put that in quotes. I was doing that for class names, but this is the tag name. Oh, okay. I'll just retype the comment. Okay. Drag this out. It's going to be fun figuring out how to extract all these little SVGs. I think I found a Figma plugin that should make that a bit easier. Okay. Awesome. And then with these buttons, so these are called, okay, div. Okay, we have another, oh gosh, description list here. We're describing actions, I guess. Okay, button link. Again, yeah, button primary. Button link, button primary. To me, visually, this is like a third level. I would maybe, like if we were going to stick with that primary, secondary, you know, the third thing in that list is tertiary, but the class name has been called link. They certainly look like links. They look like inline links, so that also makes sense, but I'm really interested in this choice. Okay, this is a button link. I might, in Figma, do my own thing, call these tertiary buttons just to be consistent with that naming. But yeah, I'd be interested in an engineer's perspective on that. Okay. And then up here, this is one of the few checkboxes we've seen. I mean, I guess that's not true. We have them here, and this is actually really interesting. If we zoom in, so this, you know, not centered, it's looking kind of wonky, but we've got checkboxes over here as well in our table. And these are kind of looking weird too. They're sitting in such an odd way. Slightly too low. I wonder if that's a tricky thing to get right. I imagine it is. Like, is it custom? Is that why? Okay, hold on. I gotta get back in here. Okay, there we go. This is a div. This is also a div. Are we gonna see? Oh my gosh, it's a button. A button with a class of checkbox. YNAB checkbox. How is the space between them handled? Maybe that's just what it is. Oh no, there's something called white space in between? What is this? White space only text node. I don't know what that is. That's cool. Okay. YNAB checkbox button. Oh, and we need a screenshot of that. Gosh, and this is only one of what, 5 kinds of category targets that we can set? Yeah, I think it's not going to be until the next stream that I get to building stuff, but I'm really wanting to. So. Okay. This is a button. YNAB checkbox. I don't think we're gonna do that in Figma. And I'm wondering, the size is so small. Like let's inspect over here. Are these the same? And is it maybe all this like rem spacing that's causing that? Oh, when I right click on this, it's okay, hold on. Let's cancel. I don't want to rename this. Now let's dig into these category rows. Yeah, okay. Yeah, YNAB checkbox. This is a flat icon. Class flat icon. Okay. Yeah, how does the size work here? 11 by 11. Okay, they're meant to be the same, but I just, yeah, and I don't know where I would go to find out, like, if it's smaller here because it's getting there's like a rem thing going on, border radius, font size. Maybe, yeah, if the font size is controlled. Yeah, if this check is smaller, then the surrounding bits might be, but the height and the width, if I get rid of those, that's kind of weird. The border radius is also determined by rems. Oh, that looks, okay, if I turn off, without its box sizing declaration, it actually looks visually centered. That's super handsome, I think. Way better. And I can see this one has changed as well. But turning it back on, oh wow, and it's affecting some other stuff too. Something about these inputs over here on the right, like are you know, they're leaving their container visually, which isn't great, but the checkboxes look a lot better without this. I think I might take some liberties in the component build and yeah, make them consistent with each other, and then also yeah, center that check. Why not? Let's do it. Okay, so we've been looking at the target options for needed for spending. What about savings balance? We've got a lot of the same stuff here. Take a screenshot of this. Why did that place behind? Oh gosh. Oh, there it is. Okay, weird. Okay, yeah, we've got a lot of the same stuff. We have our same selects. We've got that kind of weird, older looking, slightly out of place bunch of options. Monthly savings builder is very simple. All it wants is you to say, this is how much I want to save each month. And you need to do that for it to not yell at you. And then monthly debt payment. Interest, oh, pair with a loan. This is another recent feature that YNAB introduced, of kind of like a loan tracker to make it easier to pay off really big chunks of debt, student loans, car loans, mortgages, things like that. And also to help folks understand, you know, see what kind of a difference it could make if you pay more than the minimum, how much faster and how much money you'll save by not paying more interest by doing so. It's really neat. And so this seems to be kind of like a call to action, right? They want you to pair this with a loan. So, and this is new. We've got these math symbols in this input box. So let's explore and see what's going on. Got an input wrapper, button calculator. Oh, that's a button. Oh my gosh. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because if I'm typing in here and I click on that, oh man, yet another. So that's a button. That's a button inside of an input. That's wild. Cool. I'm also now noticing, I think this has come up a couple times before, but in terms of like an active state for these inputs. I'm not seeing a visual difference. Hover state, also not seeing a difference. Let me stop with the inspector. I guess the hover state, oh no, is there like a slight change in the gray? No, it's just my eyes. But the hover state does reveal that calculator button, which has its own hover state. Aha. Okay. Learning some really good stuff. I'm wondering if that is similar to an icon button. Man, there's going to be so many kinds, so many flavors. Hover state for math button. Great. These are probably buttons as well. Like if I open this up and we inspect on these fellas. Yep, button, button, button. These are data operators. Ooh, stop it. Okay. Just getting the hover state for those guys. All right, Figma, where's the screenshot? I did drop it in. There we go. Shrink that down. Data operator. They are indeed buttons. Do they have a pressed state? Oh, that's cool. Yeah, because, yeah, you can do math. So they're just inserting characters. So if I did 100 minus 10. Oh, that was 10 plus 10. But yeah, so that worked. That's great. Okay, this is our same old guy. End of month. This is what I was interested in, this pair with a loan. Originally, I got distracted by the math button. There we go. Another description list. I wonder why that's used in here. Pair with a loan button. This whole guy is a button. So it seems like we've got like different levels of chunk, like 16 all around, but that's definitely not the case. Like these guys, it was like, what, 4 pixels around, so. All right, pair with a loan button. I'm sure this isn't gonna come up super often. This blue, this looks like their marketing blue. But that's a new blue. We haven't seen this color yet. I'm certain of it. Okay, no hover state. When I open it, yeah, and this triggers this panel as if, you know, we were adding another account, right? We would it would show up, except under budget there would be another grouping here. Not gonna bother with that. Maybe we'll do it later just to see if like the interface is any different. Okay, and we already talked about these guys, talked about how they're kind of giving visually tertiary button, but they're labeled as something else for the class. So that is target. Oh my gosh, maybe we can start building some stuff. Something else I realized that I didn't do to prepare for this stream that I should have done, let me get out of Inspector, is turn off this plugin that I use. It's called Toolkit for YNAB. And I want to, I should have turned that off. This might have affected what the interface looks like, but that should refresh it. All Toolkit is it lets you visually adjust kind of what information is displayed across YNAB's interface. It's really, really handy. You could think of it like a plugin, like a Figma plugin, honestly. Okay, but I don't think it should have. Just gonna double check here. Like you can see, one of the biggest changes is it changes the ready to assign to yellow to kind of tell you, hey, you need to take care of this. Like your dollars need jobs, right? Stuff like that. I'm just gonna quickly double check to see if there's anything that looks amiss after we select a category. See if Toolkit messed anything up for us, but I'm getting beach balled right now, so we will wait. So I'm about an hour in. I'm debating if I want to go for another half hour and start building some stuff, although I do also feel like I need to get the foundational things sorted out, colors, typography, get those styles in place. I think that would facilitate building quite a bit. Feels necessary to do that before just like jumping in. So, oh wow, what's going on? Yeah, let's force quit. We'll bring this back up in a moment. I haven't even looked to see what font they're using. Maybe let's do that first, or our colors. Okay, good. So that's been disabled. This is all looking the same to me. I think we're safe. I don't think Toolkit affected what we got to do. And I do think, yeah, what I mentioned about like this inventory is taking me more time than I thought it would. And I'd like to, now that we've got these like sort of outermost edges, right? This panel on the left, we've got our nav area up top, and then our budget inspector on the right. I think that there's plenty we can do. And then after that, really getting into this table here. Cool. Let's start with color. Let's do that. And we'll start back at the start. Now I want to see, because what would be so much easier for me in doing this is if I could just use Figma's eyedropper, but I'm interested to see how accurate it is. So if I could get a background color for this guy easily, I felt like I could do that through this box model. Inherited from body. Just got all this stuff. Wow, tons of colors. What is the easiest way on the sidebar? Maybe I was just on the wrong level. Background color. Great. But is there a way to like get this variable? Cadet blue. Closest to. Oh, wow. That's neat. But like give me the the hex code. Yeah, I need that value. Okay, well let's go find cadet blue. Where would be How would we get the tokens? Style editor, perhaps. Lato. Okay, well that's good. Now we know our font family. 210, that seems promising because I saw a ton of colors earlier. Can we search this? Cadet. No. Oh, 3000. Oh my golly. Okay. Before YNAB. Aha. These look like colors. Cadet. No. Wow, I'm just not very good at the inspect panel to know where to get stuff. Import and append an existing style sheet. Style editor options. Is Cadet Blue even a YNAB color? I'm wondering. Or is Firefox just trying to give me like some super basic? Like, you know, you could type in blue for a background color and a color will be returned. I don't really have a way, let's see, other than these names to really understand what's being applied here. But I would love to use one of these if I can get this Xcode and then compare it to what Figma gives me with its color picker and see how accurate it is. Like, I would love to just use Figma's color picker. Banner alert. Budget balance, budget balance. There was a blue that I saw that looked promising. Okay, it must have been farther down. Here we go. Button primary. It's not. It might be the buttons. This is kind of. I think it might be this one. So if we change. No. It's more green than that. Okay. Oh, filter styles. Let's just filter for stuff that has background applied. We've got the loading background. That could be it. The loading screen. Ha! Alright, I saw no change. Oh, whoa! When I deleted that line, this other color came up. Okay, but I'm really confident that we've got an accurate match there. So let's get a frame. We'll apply that hex code and let's compare in our screenshot. Set these side by side. Okay, already I can tell there's a bit of a discrepancy. What I grabbed is a little bit more green than what's here. And if we grab a second frame, nope, don't want to resize it. Grab a second frame and use the eyedropper to get that exact color, that's going to be a bit different. However, maybe we can, in the inspector, use this to filter our colors, or go to the style editor. Gosh. Let's refresh this again. get everything back. I deleted the line and I don't know how to get it back. Yeah, this is that loading screen. Okay. Oh, that's cool. We can color or toggle color schemes. Light mode, dark mode. Okay, so that one. Oh, hold on. Does this even pick up? Okay. So it seems like I can't trust Figma's eyedropper to get me accurate colors. But I'm wondering how much that matters. Oh, sidebar background. Holy moly. 2C97AD. Let's try it. Is that not the same? Okay, that's gotta be it though. We know that this is called the sidebar. So sidebar background, like sidebar background active. That's interesting. No. Oh, that's like a, yeah, maybe a hover state. Cool. Okay, part of me is wanting to just go with Figma's eyedropper because it's going to be way less painful, honestly, to grab those colors and make those styles. And I'm thinking they can get cleaned up in the future. Already, I'm kind of regretting saying these things. I think it might be making more work for my future self. But I think I also need to do a bit of research outside of this stream about how I can grab these CSS colors in an efficient way, because doing what I'm doing here, searching for words and then pasting values around until I can visually notice whether or not a change occurred when I like manipulate what colors are applied to these objects is not great, I think. So, but it is interesting just looking at all these how many different unique colors are going on in here. Body theme, classic. Okay. Oh, and all this other stuff too. YNAB, web. Tons of accents. Legacy, 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 legacy. Okay, so maybe that I should take that to mean ignore all of this. Wow, huge, huge palette. I'm recognizing some of this from their, again, not in-app material, but like their blog, their marketing stuff, things they would use on social media. It's interesting to see in the app. Massive list. Okay. Let's do that. We're gonna use the eyedropper. So yeah, color is an interesting thing to organize. Unfortunately, with the lack of native support for tokens, we're gonna have to repeat some things. For example, if this same blue is used for, this is a surface. This is a discussion we've been having at work a lot recently. But if the same blue is used both as a surface color and as an interactive element color, like a button, I'm inclined to have it duplicated because those are different jobs, right? So let's start with a color group called surfaces. To me, these all look like teals. Maybe even before I turn all of these into... You know what? It's easy enough to rearrange stuff. Let's just do it. We have surface. We've got teal. We've got this teal on a button. So that is an interactive element. Actually, surface is, I think, sufficient as a group. The rest of our groups can be named after like that piece of interface. Oh, this is such an... again, like I've not... The things, the products that I've worked on at work and my day jobs, definitely use color in a different way, I think. And I'm also just not as practiced at like setting these things up. So this is this is a good challenge. But we'll try this. We'll try it by naming it by the piece of interface. So like we'll say button, teal. These are buttons as well though. Maybe, oh, don't want to leave a comment. I want the eyedropper. Maybe we need to have that gradation thing kind of happening before we start assigning stuff to groups to at least get all of our unique things figured out, and then we can figure out what they get applied to. That's maybe the way to go. I think I'm getting too complicated with all of this. So yeah, let's take these out of groups. Oh, how do I do that? Go out to our styles. We'll just have a bunch of teals. And we'll use rectangles instead of frames to start to sort these. Okay, there's definitely going to be some stuff in between there. It's actually more of a navy. Like if we look at this, yeah, and we look at this hex code, like it's not nearly as close to the green as some of these other ones. Compare that to like this guy. Yeah. Well, actually no, maybe they are in the same group, but just I guess this is pushed so much further to the left. It's much more desaturated. All right. Do we have this guy yet? Nope. Wow, tons. This is going to be a really interesting batch of stuff. How about this one? This looks like its own color. Are these different? I don't think so. How about our checkboxes? Yeah, that's something that's a little more blue. Hasn't come up yet, of course, in our inventory exercise, but might as well grab some of these super light tones. We've got what looks like pure white. Yep. Great. White. Then, oh my gosh, this text. I haven't even considered the text yet, but yeah, that's not even a black, really. Need to zoom in. That's a really dark blue. I'm just gonna name everything teal for now. And same for this text. I wonder if it's even pure white. Definitely not that. We've got our empty state here. Get a rectangle. That's white. That's white. Oh, our sneaky icons. I think those are kind of closer. Might be good to even start arranging these not just in one big column, but like how they would fall on this field, which would mean we'd kind of have to start organizing things horizontally instead of what I was doing. But this one seems to be steps in lightness. This one definitely down here, and my guess is it's kind of like doing a puzzle. That might be a bit closer to how these colors are organized on a color field. Okay, let's check out. Oh, we've got grays in here too. Grab that. DE. It's the inverse of, I think, Figma's default gray for their canvas. Actually, let's see where that falls. Does it have any blue in it? Is it totally off on the left? Totally off on the left. No color. I saw what might be another gray as well. Or actually another teal. Oh, is that? Yeah, like a border color? I'll add it for now. It looks like it's something. Okay, and then we're gonna have to get these grays and blacks for the text. That would definitely go like maybe here. Almost feels like pixel art. Okay. Oh. But before we go selecting stuff, gotta have our rectangle. Okay, let's get, so we got this like bold for the true expenses. I'm interested to see for these line items if this is also, this has any blue in it slightly. Yeah, a little bit. But I'm still gonna call it a gray. And that's definitely down here. Okay, and then category here. Oh shoot, gotta have something selected for the color to get applied to. All right. Category. That has some blue in it for sure. Still gonna call it a gray. And then these buttons. Interested to see if those match any of the colors that we set up already. Zoom in. I'm just gonna go by sight. Oh, this might be actually closer to that really the blue, the teal that has more blue in it. Is it this? No, you can see this has more green. Yeah, it's none of these. But if we bring in this guy, I think it might be this one. That it might match with. And same for the checkboxes. Yeah. I think that's it. Okay, so we've already got that one. But what we don't have is this lighter. Well, maybe not. I mean, this seems more green than this, but they're close. Yeah. Okay. This looks new to me. We'll still call it teal. But maybe we're gonna need a blue category eventually. Yeah, for sure. Okay. All right. Maybe more around there. This is more around here too. These are so close, but they're not quite the same. Okay, what about these icon buttons? Do we have that already? It looks like we do. These are, yeah, those are the same. Great. Seeing that a lot. How about March 2022? No, that's just white. And then we've got, let's really zoom in. That might be a new gray, perhaps? Yeah. Filling in some gaps. Cool. That one has more blue in it than the rest of the grays. Alright, these are actually kind of on the same level, it's just this one has more green in it. Alright. We're getting to a good spot with color, I think. There's other colors we know we're gonna need to grab, right? Like these grays, this green, all this stuff for the forms. These grays, those teals. Maybe we can bring our workspace a little bit closer to us. Let's see if we've got, spend just a couple more minutes here, maybe 5. Let's see if we have this gray. Slightly different. What about that guy? Yep. Huge amount of colors, huge range. This is really interesting to me because the product I'm working on or contribute to through my design ops work that our product designers are working on has such a limited palette, and this is already like, I don't know, just the level, the number of grays, the number of teals is already exceeding what we're working with, so this feels almost unwieldy to me. Like, I don't know how to organize and manage it. Those look like they're the same, but are they? Oh my gosh, slightly different. Now, do we have, is everybody represented here? First, let's make a group. We should start making groups. Grays. That one needs to be renamed. We've got teals. Edit style. Great. And then we've got white. And if your black shows up, we will add that in as well. Now, let's count these up because I'm suspicious I have not been keeping the same amount of rectangles here as I have been adding styles. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Okay, so 7 grays, 12 teals, and 1 white. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. We are missing one of something. Are these the same? They look exactly the same. And this is where naming all of these the same thing is dangerous. Those are exactly the same rectangle. Okay, so let's start getting organized. I think I'm gonna use a number system. So like gray 100, and we can adjust this. I know I'm going to need to. For example, these two, this is so close to each other. Like 205, I don't know. Gray 300, and I'm sure we'll uncover more that will cause us to have to adjust our numbers. But this will be good for now. Okay, and now that those have been named, yes, we can organize this panel a bit. Oh, is gray and gray 400, are those exactly the same? Now we can, yeah, just better audit things. That's gray. No, those are different. Okay. Oh, and this might have been the gray that was missing. Great. These are kind of sitting at the same level, I think, or it's sort of in between. Let's just select all of these. We'll do 305 for now. They're really, really close. I thought they were maybe on different levels, but I think they're not. And I'm actually going to flip those around with each other because, yeah, this is less saturated. In fact, this might even be one more step over into blue. And are these the same? No. 205 and 200, yeah. Yeah, this one's got like a little bit more blue in it, and it's lighter, so yeah, I think it, matrix-wise, can sit there. Although they're just super close. When they're sitting adjacent like this, you can't even tell. Alright, so that's our grays. Let's do the same for teals. I'm interested in almost doing blue category, but I think I'm gonna not. Okay, so we've got teal 100. I wonder what's the best way to label these, name these to account for, like, I guess it's all, I mean, it would just be doing like hue, saturation, lightness values, right? Like that's kind of this naming system that I think I'm almost wanting to work towards because they're so close, and we're just recreating that like color map. Oh, it's tough. All right. Well, for now, teal 200. As long as they have distinct names for now, that'll be enough. We'll say 210. $220. $320. $410. $420. This would be $520. So yeah. And I don't know, this might come back to bite me, but now it seems like we've got like So we've got 100s. We're kind of like, yeah, like an actual matrix. 200s. 300. Get these all center aligned. Yeah, I wonder if this would be a useful way to organize color. I might have to dig around and see how some larger design system files sort this out. Well, yeah, I think before I even proceed, like, you know, we'll make sure these all get named here, but 500 what? And then we've got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, so this would be 550. I know we're gonna update these names, but for now I just need everybody to have some sort of name, some sort of unique name, and then we can go on. I would be very interested if anybody happens to see this before I stream again and you're feeling generous, if you've got a suggestion for how I might organize this particular system color, because I think it's really tricky. These hues are so close, but they all do, and they, I don't know, and we're gonna see. I think obviously teal is like an action color in here, but it's just used everywhere. It's amazing. Yeah, cool. All right, well, hopefully with some color styles sorted out and an inventory again of those surrounding edges of the product, that means maybe we can dive into textiles next time, and with that foundation we'll have enough to actually start building some components, which I'm really excited about because it means I can talk about some building methods that I've been thinking a lot about and drafting some writing about, but really put them to the test, I think, in practice. I've been able to do that a little bit at work, but not so much lately, so this will be fun. All right, until next time, thank you.